What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiancé video, and in this one itself in particular, well, we all know by now that Ben was arrested for a DUI, OUI, you know what I'm saying, and he's also, which therefore resulted in him losing his job as well, and also being on an 18-month probation from my record as well. But at the same time, though, what we didn't know is necessarily how this all happened. And Ben has come out in an interview with Touch to talk about exactly events of what led to him being arrested for basically, you know, the crime itself indeed. But of course, before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the freaking channel, if you dig what I'm saying. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to show you this little cheeky little screenshot of the article of where obviously he speaks about what happened. And as you can see here, he says, in September of 2020, I went to help a homeless couple living at a Red Roof Inn. And when they offered me a little plastic cup of wine, I stupidly accepted, he tells In Touch. When I left, I felt so tired. I stopped at the hotel for the night and completely lost the next 24 hours. Apparently, they had spiked the drink. The next day, I attempted to drive home and hit the curb, disabling my car, he says. The police did a breathalyzer and found no alcohol, but later they did a blood draw at the station and found whatever the frick that word says in my system. But ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, listen, I'm not an expert on drinks per se, but so he's gone to a homeless place. They've offered him a wine in a cup, which he stupidly accepted. Okay, so first and foremost, let's just break this down real quick. Straight away, he's taking no accountability. He's blaming this on some random homeless person who gave him a drink in a cup that he stupidly took. Right, so he's gonna blame someone else giving him a drink. Okay, so he's not going to take accountability for stupidly taking the drink. Okay, fantastic. Sounds a lot like Benjamin. I'm pretty sure there was a line somewhere that Mahogany says in the season anyway, something about how he always sees himself to never do anything wrong. But anyway, let's proceed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, also on top of that, he then obviously continues. I mean, honestly, it's like you couldn't write this nonsense even if I tried, if you dig what I'm saying. But just go back real quick, okay? He obviously then goes in and talks about how when I left, I felt so tired. I stopped at a hotel for the night and completely lost the next 24 hours. Apparently, they had spiked my drink. So, first and foremost, he's blaming them now for also spiking his drink, even though in reality, he could have just said no, right? But listen, don't get me wrong though, If someone spikes your drink, is it your fault? No, it's not. But if you're on a job, I'm assuming this was on a job because he done a lot of charity work. So if you're on a job, should you even be drinking on the job? Like he specifically said, they gave me a plastic cup of wine. So he knew they were giving him alcohol. Okay, he knew this. But if he's on his job, then he should have said no anyway, given the fact that he's on job, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure in most line of works, they say to you, no, don't do that. But I guess Benjamin decided to make up his own rules in that moment in time, unless his workplace can confirm that it's okay for you to accept an alcoholic drink from anyone. It's like, make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen, come on. But also on top of that, though, he says that obviously when they did the test on him, he was completely fine. But it wasn't until he did he did a straw. What did he say again? My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. He says that it wasn't until they did a blood draw at the station. But ask me this though, right? So if they did a breathalyzer and found no alcohol, why would he then still go to the station? Maybe because he disabled his car. So to be fair, that could be a very good point. But tell me this though. If the very next day he felt unwell, why would he then decide to drive his car? If he's lost 24 hours, he's woke up feeling a bit, why would you want to drive your car? Explain that to me. Because I can tell you this now, I've known someone who was legitimately spiked. And trust me, the next day they wasn't thinking about getting in their car and driving to XYZ. The next day they were like, listen, I can't do it, I can't go to work, I feel like absolute garbage. So in reality, for me, myself in particular, I think that this story right here is absolute bullcrap. I don't think he's telling the truth. I think this is Benjamin doing typical Benjamin stuff and him just making up a story. So therefore he looks like he's a saint, when in reality, he's not a saint. He's more on the Satan side than he is on the actual angel side, if you dig what I'm saying. But hey, man, don't want to get into politics, but you know how some of these religious people be sometimes. Sometimes they be using the religion as an excuse of why they behave the way they behave. But in reality, they behave the way they behave because they're just evil people. They're just sad people. They're just pathetic people. But in his term, to be fair, this sits perfectly. But for him, it's because he's just a stupid person. Yes. Yes. But nonetheless though, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know in the comment section. I don't know if anyone's ever been spiked before. I hope you haven't. But I don't know if anyone knows anyone who has been spiked before. And tell me something. If you've been spiked, would you want to be driving your car the next day? Because as far as I'm concerned, you wouldn't want to be doing that because you wouldn't feel up to it any kind of way. If anything, you'd probably call an Uber, which is the sensible thing to do. And in 2020, in 2020, Ubers were still a thing. And if it wasn't Uber, it could have easily rang a taxi and said, listen, I'm here, can you please pick me up because I don't feel well. But instead he got behind the wheel. Why? Because really and truly, he definitely went out and drank himself on purpose, if you dig what I'm saying. He just got caught and came out with a BS freaking excuse. But nonetheless though, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I have ranted way too much and I feel like maybe there's nothing else for me to say. So I'll leave it down to you lovely people to let me know what you're thinking in the freaking comment section. If you dig what I'm saying, because boy. This is just bull crap, if you dig what I'm saying. Thank you so much for your time. Like, subscribe, and peace.